The cord of a goldsmith's balance and that of a wearer of good quality purple wool, their measure is 3 finger breadths. The handle of a hatchet from its back, its measure is 3 finger breadths. Rabbi Yossi says if it is 1 hand breadth, it is tahor. The end of the cord of the balance of store owners and that of householders' measure is 1 hand breadth. The handle of a hatchet in front, its measure is 1 hand breadth. The remnant of a compass handle, the measure is 1 hand breadth. The handle of a chisel as used by stone engravers, its measure is 1 hand breadth. The cord of a wood dealer's balance and the wood glass weighers, their measure is 2 hand breadths. The handle of a millstone chisel's measure is 2 hand breadths. The hand breadth of a mace, its measure is 2 hand breadths. The handle of a goldsmith's hammer, its measure is 2 hand breadths, and that of blacksmith, its measure is 3 hand breadths.
Okay. Okay, and we carry on in increasing scale of how big a handle is for a kli. Shiarei hadarvan milamala. So we're going to see this. The cattle prod has got 2 ends. There's the darvan and the charchur. So it's got 2 functional ends on the stick.
Right.
And each side has got the yad operates independently. So if it's longer, then the middle piece itself is considered unattached for tumah. It's just a unrelated piece of wood. Okay. So the remnants of the cattle prod from above on the cattle prod side is 4 tvach. Now the other side is going to be 7. So we're only going to see that one appear later today.
Okay.
Yad habadid arba'ah. So the handle of they call it a spade over here, a badid. Again, that's 4 tvachim. Yad kardom shel nikush. So the matok for pounding. Okay, chamisha. That needs 5 tvachim for a decent handle. Yad ben apatish chamisha. The small hammer needs 5 tvachim. Now this is not talking about like the sort of hammer that you use in your household, because anan sahadi that's like maybe 2 tvachim. Okay, this is talking about a construction hammer of some sort. Okay, if that needs 5 tvachim of a handle, v'shela patish, and the larger handle is 6 tvachim.
Big handle. Big hammer.
It's what?
Big hammer.
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
It may be something that's used for knocking down a wall or something like that. I don't know, and honestly, it's not, as I've said before, it's not that important to get into the weeds of understanding exactly what the kli is. It's just if somebody comes and presents you with a kli and asks, somebody touched the handle over here, is it tameh? So you're going to have to do an investigation into that kli and say, okay, well, how much of a handle does it need? And you're going to pick it up and say, okay, where do you hold it by? And you'll see where the person holds it by, and that's going to be the length that it needs to be. Okay. Yada kardom shel bikua v'shel adir, the handle, the axe for splitting wood and for hoeing, seems to be about the same length. And you can imagine, these are things that you do while you're standing up and you're trying to reach ground height. So you're going to see, okay, so that's the handle is about 6 tvachim. V'yad makeves shel satasin shisha, and also the stonemason's chisel. So here's a guy who's at the quarry and he's busy knocking, before the days of gelignite. So he's standing there with a giant metal chisel and knocking into the rock. Okay, shiarei charchur. Here's the other end of the darvan, of the cattle prod. Right, so that blade milamatan shiva, that needs 7 tvachim of handle. Yad magrefa, the handle of the householder's shovel, shel ba'alei batim. Beis Shammai omrim shiva, ubeis Hillel omrim shmona. So okay, machlokes, whether it's 7 or 8. Is there any significance to this machlokes? It seems to be. Yeah, I was just thinking the commentary saying this seemed to be one of the few instances where Beis Shammai rule more leniently than Beis Hillel. There's a misprint in my Mishna's commentary. I don't know if you have that as well. On page 1260, you see the small print on the top left. Do you see that it says Beis Shammai rule more leniently than Beis Shammai? Okay, the second one should be Beis Hillel. And it's not recorded in Eidus, correct? Yeah. with regard to the contraction of Tuma, Beis Shammai's smaller measure is a leniency, but regarding the sprinkling of Mechatas, remember, so right? So it's everything is a stringency and a leniency altogether. So Beis Hillel are going to say, yeah, but if it's eight tvachim and you sprinkle on there, that'll be legit. That's a good sprinkling. Whereas Beis Shammai are going to be machmir on that. So you can't say this is a chumrah or a kula. It's just a psak. Okay. Because both the kula, it's both the kula and the chumrah, both sides of it. Okay.
Still rules more leniently in this case. Is that what you said?
Well, it's not well. That's what the commentary is saying, is that it's not a more lenient or more stringent, because it's both for tuma and for tara.
Right. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Shel sayadin. Okay. What about the shovel of plasterers? Beis Shammai omrim tisha, Beis Hillel omrim asara. So again, they're out by one tefach, with Beis Hillel going for the larger measure. Yaser mikan imratza lekayem tamei. If the length of the handle is this, and he decides that he wants to preserve its length, then it's still tamei. So this is where he's actually applied his das to it to say, I like this super long handle. So mistama, we assume that this handle would not be tamei. But if the person himself has decided that he wants it longer, then it is tamei. Now I'm just curious in a second.
Go down.
In this particular case, it's different from the other cases, because previously we just said we don't care what he wants. We see in Mishna 3, any length beyond the measures listed are not considered a yad, even if the owner wishes to retain the entire cord. But if you want to retain the entire handle of the shovels, then even the section of the handle beyond that measure has the status of the yad. Okay, that's because the owner's decision not to shorten the handle indicates that the excess length is somehow advantageous to him in terms of the usage of the implement, which is the criterion for defining an appendage of a utensil as a yad. Okay, I'm not sure how that distinguishes this from the cord.
No. You want a cat?
I've got one, thank you.
Down all my shnayas. What'd you do? Off, out, goodbye. Hey. Sometimes I question why I did this. I don't know. No talking. We're busy now. Now I gotta see where we are.
V'yad mishameshe ha'ur kol shehu, and a handle of any utensils that are used with fire, the length the measure is any length, right? Because when you're working with the fire could be hotter, could be colder, and however long your handle is, it's going to be useful so that you can manipulate stuff in the fire from a distance. Okay, now we're on to the final perek of the longest Masechta in Shas.
Thank you.
Okay, now, and this perek is to do with glass. Now, glass is a very...
So I have to get him out of here. I just... Okay, get out. I was like, here we go. Out. Bye-bye. 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 Bye, the girlfriend. Okay. All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay.
So glass is a very interesting topic in terms of Tuma and Tara, because Midoraisa, glass is tahor. It's like... It's just like clay, like stoneware, whatever. There is no tuma that attaches to glass. However, Chazal decided that we should attach tuma to glass. So any tuma that we're talking about with glassware is automatically a tuma d'Rabbanan. What's the reason why they did it? Well, there is a bit of a maflokus. Some say it's because of its similarity to earthenware, and some say it's because of its similarity to metalware. Why is it's similar to earthenware? Because it's sand. It's sand that you melted down and glass. And why is it similar to metal? Because you can melt it down and make new Keilim out of it. Right? You can recycle glass just like you can with metal.
Right.
Okay. And we're going to see that the Tuma and Tara of glass Keilim is a kind of a half breed between earthenware and metalware. Okay, so you're going to see some characteristics of each in the glassware. Okay. Klei zechuch is pshutei hen tahorin. So first of all, flatware is tahor. So if you have a mirror, it's tahor. Right? Just a simple sheet of glass, even right, is completely tahor.
That's funny because you did flatware. I was thinking of a knife or fork. Yeah, flatware. That's what we call it today, right?
Oh, yeah. Is a spoon called flatware?
No, I think it's called a spoon. I think a knife is. I don't know.
Okay. Mekablehen tamein. So if it has a receptacle, then it is susceptible to tumah.
Mhm.
Okay. Nishberu. Now, what happens if a glass key breaks? And that's its tara. Then immediately it loses any tumah. And he now takes this key and melts it down and turns it into a new key. Mekablin tumah mekan ulahava. You see, now this is different from metalware, because metalware, we said, if you have a fork that became tame and you melted it down, it becomes tahor. If you then refashion that into another kli, it immediately gets restored to its previous tumah. And
Does it
that,
have? Does it have to?
hmm?
Does it have to be restored back to its original? Like if it was
No,
a fork, back to a fork. No.
no, no. It can
Okay.
be, if you turn it into anything, it will remain tame. Now that we said it was a gezerah derabanan. Why? Because we didn't want people to melt to try and circumvent. There were a few possible reasons why we didn't want people to do this. One of them was because we didn't want people to get lazy about 7-day tumah. Because it's a drag, go sprinkling, mikveh, 7 days, melt it down and remake it clean as much, and that's actually easier. Okay, or else there were other reasons that maybe we didn't want people to forget the dinim of Tuma and Tara. Okay, but with glasswares, they did not feel the need to make such a gezerah, probably because it's already a durabana.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Okay.
no, if you melted it down, another possibility is that it's not that easy to make the new clean. And that's another possibility, is that that glass probably needs to be a lot hotter before you can melt it down and turn it into something usable. Metal's got a lower melting point. Okay. Now, hatavla va'iskutle shels chuches torin. So now, if you have a tabletop, if you have a tabletop that's made out of glass, that is tahor. So as distinct from a metal tabletop, we said if it's metal, then we also make a tumah durabanan on it. Sorry, beg your pardon. Metal flatware is a tame.
Uh-huh.
So and even a wooden tabletop, we gave a tumah durabanan because it's a work surface. But here, glass, we're saying, is already a tumah durabanan. We're not going to add it to something that's already flat. Im yeshlem lizbeis tameim, but if they have a rim, then that's considered a receptacle, and they are tame. Okay, now. So I think it's actually worth taking a brief diversion into the commentary in the art scroll over here to explain all the different points of machlokes about glass, because a lot of the things about of the way that glass becomes tame are actually not unambiguous. There's machlokes even among the poskim about whether or not they are, for example, whether they can contract tumah from their exterior. Now, like a klicheres, earthenware, remember, cannot receive tumah from the outside. It only gets from its airspace.
Right.
Okay. Not clear whether glass can receive tumah from the outside, or whether it contracts tumah from its airspace. Is it also purification in a mikveh? Can you, if glassware becomes tameh, can you take it to a mikveh? It seems most of the poskim say yes, but there are some who say no. Just like earthenware cannot be purified in a mikveh, then glassware also cannot. Susceptibility to midras tumah. Like, let's say there's some sort of glass surface that is designed for sitting on or standing on. Can it become a midras? Now we know that earthenware cannot. So some of these will go together. Like it depends on whether you hold that the gezerah on glass is more because of earthenware or more because of metalware. So a lot of these might follow. But again, it's in either case you could take an extra leniency because of the fact that that glassware is tahor midoraisa. Anyway, back to the last bit of our Mishnah. Shulei kara v'shulei iskutla. The bottom of a plate, the bottom of an iskutla made of glass. Sheskinan latashmish tahorin. Okay, so now here we have a picture on the opposite page of a plate which has got a receptacle at the bottom, which is basically really the base that it's supposed to be sitting on. Okay. Now, in normal use, you're not going to use that thing. It's got a very clear function that the large part of the bowl is the part that you want to use. But now we're talking about the top part got broken. You can't use the top part because it's got a sharp edge and whatever. But you turn it over and you say, for now I could actually use the bottom piece to put like a few raisins in or something like that. Right. Okay. So now what the Mishnah is saying is that that's not good enough to make it into a proper kli, to make it tameh. But kirit tasan or shafan b'shufin, if he basically shaved down the sharp edges of the broken bit, then the bottom piece can become tameh, because if the thing about glass is that, as you know, if it breaks, it's got sharp edges and they're going to be dangerous. Right. But if you actually file them down so that now you can actually use the reverse side of the kli properly, then that's considered prepared and can become tameh. Okay, there's two chazaras.
Okay. Okay. We're at. Okay.
Hey.
Hey. Regarding a worn-out sifter or sieve that was prepared for sitting, Rav Kiva rules it's tameh, but the common rule of Torah unless one trims it. A child's hair that has legs, even if it lacks the height of a handbreadth, is tameh. Concerning a shirt of a child, Rav Eliezer says any size, but the sages say until he has the prescribed size and it is measured double. They are measured double: a shoe, a knee breeches, pants, a hat, and a hollow belt. And regarding a pants that is attached to the border, if it is unfolded, it's measured while it is unfolded, and if doubled, it's measured while it is doubled. If a piece of cloth that was woven to the size of 3 handbreadths by 3 handbreadths contacted Mrs. Tuma, and subsequently became finished, one finished the whole piece of cloth, and afterwards one thread was removed, and from the original piece it became tahor. From Midrash Tuma, but it's tameh due to contact with the Midrash. If one thread was removed from the original cloth and subsequently one finished the whole piece of cloth, it is tameh due to contact with Midrash Tuma. Okay.
Right, Yud Zayin Yud Aleph.
We're going to start new tomorrow. No, next day we'll start new, I guess. Okay, Yud Zayin Yud Aleph. There are instances in which the rabbi spoke of a small measure of liquid and dry measures prescribed in accordance with Italian measures, which are the same as wilderness ones. There are instances in which the sages stated that measurements vary according to the size of the individual. One who performs the kmitza on a mincha offering, and one who scoops at the incense, one who drinks a quantity equal to the full of his cheeks on Yom Kippur, and the food for 2 meals or an erev tikkun. One's foods for a weekday, but not for the Sabbath. One of the other words are from Meah. Yehuda said one's food for the Sabbath is not for a weekday, and both this one and that one is intended to rule leniently. Shimon says 2/3 of a loaf for which there are 3 calves. There are 3 to a kav. Yochanan Baroga says a loaf worth of pinyon when 4 sayas cost a selah. There are instances in which the sages spoke of a large measure, a ladle full of corpse dust is measured against a full big physician's ladle. The split bean of a Nagayim is measured against a split Sicilian bean. One who eats on Yom Kippur, the volume of a larger date is liable if he ate the equivalent of it and its pit. The measure of skin bottles of wine and oil to lose their tumor is a hole the size of the large hole. Regarding a window that was not made by a person, its measure to spread tumor is the size of a large fist. That is the fist of Ben Batak.
Yeah.
Rabbi Yossi says the fist that has the same proportions as a large human head. Regarding a window that was made by a person, its measure is to spread tumor the size of the hole made by the large sugar auger of the temple chamber. This is as large as an Italian punjum and is also as large as a Noreonian cellar and is also as large as a hole and a yoke. All utensils made from sea creatures are tahor, except utensils made from a sea dog, since it flees to dry land. These are words of Rabbi Akiva. If one makes the utensils from something that grows in the sea and attaches the utensil to something that grows on land, even a thread or a string, something that is susceptible to tumah, the utensil is susceptible to tumah. Okay. You have to run, or you're okay?
No, go.
Good. Okay. All right. We have Croesus. He says we have a Gimel. Replied Red Kiva to him, your words are acceptable in the case of a small Mila. But what if he is guilty on a doubtful case of Meila? 100 mana is not better for him that if he brings the Ashim for 2 Salem and not bring a doubtful restitution of 100 mana. Reb Kiva then agreed with Reb Tafel in the case of a small Meila. If a woman brought a third katas of doubt, if it became known to her before its neck was nipped, then she had definitely given birth. She must make it an unconditional katas from the same species from which she brings an obligation of doubt, but she brings an obligation of certainty. If there was a piece of ordinary meat and a piece of sanctified meat, if he ate one of them and is not known which one of them he ate, he's exempt. The Rebbe Kiva holds him at libels with ashim to olim. If he ate the second piece, he must bring an additional ashim. If a person ate the first piece and then another person came and ate the second, this one must bring an ashim to and that one must bring an ashim to. These are the words of Rebbe Kiva. Rebbe Shimon says they both bring one ashim. Rebbe Yossi says the two do not bring one ashim. There was a piece of ordinary meat and a piece of Keilim. If one ate one of them and it's not known which one he ate, which one of them he ate, he must bring an ashim talei. And if he ate the second piece, he must bring an atatos. If one person ate the first piece and the other ate the second piece, this one must bring an ashim talei, and the other one must bring an ashim talei. These are the words of.
No, it's a mistake. It's not Divrei Rebbe Kiva, it's Divrei Akol. You should delete that.
I did. Gross it up. Excuse me. As Shimon says, they both bring one katos. Rabbi Yossi says they do not bring two do not bring one katos.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Croesus. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Shavuos.
Yeah. Chespace.
Yeah. If one said to an unpaid shoma, where is my bull? And he replied, it died. Where is it broken? In fact, it broke a limb and was captured, stolen, or lost. He replied, it broke a limb, whereas in fact it died, was captured, stolen, or lost. And he replied, it was captured, whereas in fact it died, broke a limb, was stolen, or lost. And he replied, it was stolen, whereas in fact it died, broke a limb, and was captured, or lost. And he replied, it was lost, whereas in fact it died, broke a limb, was captured, or stolen. And he said to him, I adore you. And then he replied, Amen, and he's exempt. I said to him, where is my bull? And he replied, I don't know what you are talking about. Whereas in fact, it died, broke a limb, was captured, stolen, or lost. And he said to him, I adore you. And he replied, Amen. He's exempt. If I said to him, where is my bull? And he replied, it was lost. And he said to him, I adore you. And he replied, Amen. But witnesses testify against him that he ate it. He must pay the principal. If he confessed on his own, he must pay the principal plus a fifth and a guilt offering. If he said to him, where is my bull? And he replied, it was stolen. And he said to him, I adore you. And he replied, Amen. Both witnesses testify against him that he stole it, and he must pay the twofold payment. If he confessed on his own, he must pay the principal plus a fifth and a guilt offering. And if one said to a borrower, where is my bull? And he replied, it died, whereas in fact it broke a limb, was captured, stolen, or lost. And he replied, it broke a limb, whereas in fact it died, was captured, stolen, or lost. And he replied, it was captured, whereas in fact it died, broke a limb, was stolen, or lost. And he replied, it was stolen, whereas in fact it died, broke a limb, was captured, or lost. And he replied, it was lost, whereas in fact it died, broke a limb, was captured, or stolen. And he said to him, I adore you. And he replied, Amen. He is exempt. If I said to him, where is my bull? And he replied, I don't know what you're talking about. Whereas in fact it died, broke a limb, was captured, stolen.
Hold on. Which Mishnah are you on now? There's so many similarities. I've just kind of lost.
I'm on 10-5, which I think is too far ahead.
Way too far. I think you might have skipped a page because I was waiting for you to do Dalad.
Oh, really? I did Dalad. Oh, I didn't skip. I skipped Dalad. If I said to someone in the street, where's my bull that you stole? And he replied, I did not steal it. The witness lies tested against him that he stole it. It pays a twofold payment. If he slaughtered it and he sold it, he must pay it for a fivefold payment. And a witness saw approaching and he said, I stole, but I did not slaughter or sell. He pays only the principal. Okay. All right. And tomorrow we're going to do we're going to add a new one now tomorrow.
Adios
tomorrow. And what the Adios after Shavuos, and there's one after Keilim also.
Yeah, Keilim when we went to Olos.
Olos?
Yeah.
Adios and Olos. Okay.
Ohalos.
Excuse me?
Ohalos after Keilim. It's an Ohel, right?
Oh, right. Olios and Holos. I'll find it. Okay.
But there's no Olios. There's no. It's Ohalos. That's the only one.
After Keilim or after Shavuos?
After Keilim is Ohalos. After Shavuos is Adios.
Oh, that's all right. They have to end the OS, right? We have to have that.
Okay.
Oh my
Tanis
God.
Gimel Tes.
Okay. Moed. If they had been fasting and rain began to fall before sunrise, they need not complete the fast. If the rain began to fall after sunrise, they must complete the fast. Rabbi Elliot says if it began to rain before midday, they may not complete the fast. But if the rain began after midday, they must complete the fast. It once happened that a fast was decreed in the Lord and rained before midday. The Torah said to them, "Go out and eat. Go out, eat and drink, and proclaim a holiday." And they went out, ate, drank, and proclaimed the holiday. In the afternoon, they returned to the synagogue and recited the great holiday. On three junctures, right? On
Yes.
three junctures, the year of the Kohanim raised their hands to bless the people 4 times during the day at Shakras, Musaf, Mecca, and Nila, on fast days on Mamados, and on Yom Kippur. There are the Mamos since the Torah states, command the children of Israel, and say to them, I sacrifice my bread now. How can should sacrifice be offered when he is not present? The early prophets continued to the 24 Mishmayros. In Svar's brothers, to every single Mishmah there was a mid-Maman in Jerusalem, and Kohen Levim in Yerushalayim. When the time approached for the Mishmar to ascend, the Kohen and Levites were sent to Yerushalayim. The Yerushalayim was assigned to that Mishmar were assembled in their cities and read from the story of Bereshis.
Okay, I'm going to need to leave you so you can do Demai by yourself.
Okay.
Okay, and see you tomorrow.
Right then. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.